I have a question for you. Who is your tribe? What tribe are you in? Now, the guy that I'm trying to reach for this video is the guy that has trouble answering that question. Because we all need a tribe. Our tribe is consisted of those folks who have the same purpose as you do. So, what is your purpose? And if you don't have a good answer for that, then I want you to think about it. If you think that your tribe are the folks that you're just going to play video games with, think about getting a new tribe. Not that video games are necessarily bad, but they are a tremendous time waster. And if you think that your tribe are the folks that you hang out at the bar with every night of the week, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'd like you to do some more thinking as well. You need to upgun your tribe. And your tribes will change throughout your life. You're not always going to have the same tribe. When I was your age, my tribe were folks either trying to go in the Marine Corps or other Marines. This is not to try to teach you or to convince you to go in the Marine Corps. It's not that at all. It's just that was my tribe. I had other tribes I was in. You can have multiple tribes. I was also a rock climber. So those, I hung out with rock climbers. I hung out with backpackers. So you get to have multiple tribes, but tribes are necessary for us to identify with and belong to. We all have a need to belong to something. So think about that. Once you have your tribe in mind, or some of your tribes, are they the best tribes? Are these guys that bring you up? It's like when you're learning to play a sport, let's say tennis. You don't want to just play tennis with somebody that is not as good as you. You want to play tennis with somebody that's better than you, because playing against that guy that's better than you is going to bring up your game, because he's going to smoke you. So think about what you want to do, where do you want to go, and find somebody else that wants to go there too. Now, I was casting shade on computer games because they're such a time sink, and I do believe that. If you want to be, however, you want to be a computer game developer, well, it's kind of a different story. You can make really good money. There's a lot to that industry. So if you're a computer gamer now, maybe think about that, upgunning your game from computer game player to computer game programmer. That would be upgunning your tribe. It's entirely possible that when you think about my question about who is your tribe, maybe you don't have a good tribe. Maybe you don't have a tribe. If that's the case, then one idea is to seek out a mentor. Now, mentors are hard to find because, honestly, everybody's wrapped up in their own crap and they want to do their own thing. And mentorship, people volunteering their time to help out somebody else, those folks are in short supply. The boys and girls clubs that provide those kinds of folks, they are drastically short of mentors, and often you may have months to wait to find a mentor. I'm mentoring a young man right now who's a senior in high school. He's about to graduate here in a couple of weeks. And, I've mentored him. His tribe is Civil Air Patrol. He wants to go in the Air Force and be a pilot. He's a pretty sharp kid. He just took his check ride for his private pilot's license a couple of weeks ago. That's a pretty auspicious achievement to be doing it so young. I've been flying now as a pilot for about 10 years and know the work it takes to make that happen. But anyway, when you do something like that, that kind of brings a tribe along with it. You do you. I just want you to be asking yourself, what is it that excites you? Who do you want to be? I see when I look and I talk to parents who have their own kids, they often, I see just an astounding number, in my view, of their kids that, they graduate from high school and they don't have a purpose. They don't go to college. They're just sort of hanging around the house. And boy, that's a recipe for depression and all other kinds of bad things going on. So find something you think you want to do and go try it. It doesn't have to be the final answer. A lot of folks will try something they think they like and find out after a year or two, maybe they don't really like it. And that's okay. You can change. You can go to college if that's your gig, if that's what you want to do, and you have to declare your major and find out that that major is not for you. That's okay. I did that. I started off as a civil engineering major. Well, where I went to school, they called that pre-business because many don't make it in the civil engineering realm in that major. That's a tough major, and I was one of those and ended up in the business administration world, majoring in that. Okay, so I changed my tribe. Yeah, you can too. You don't want to make your whole life about changing your tribe, though. I would caution you against that. Doesn't take a lot of deep thought to figure out that your parents should not be your mentors either. Now, doesn't mean you can't get good advice and good counsel from your parents, depending on who your parent is. That you know the answer to that question. I don't. But in many cases, your parent can be a good source of counsel. But you've known them, they've known you your whole life. They've already imparted a lot of that knowledge to you if you're in your late teens or 20s. So I encourage you to find a mentor that's not in addition to your parents. If you're working, don't ask your boss to be your mentor. I'm not prepared to go into all the list of why that's a bad idea, but trust me, that's a bad idea. Find somebody else in a leadership position in your company that you trust, that is outside of your chain of command or line of authority in civilian speak. Somebody else that would be interested in mentoring you and helping you develop your career. Every generation, as they get old, they look down at the upcoming generations and think that the new generation is not worth their salt. And there's plenty of folks around that believe that. I think that's hooey. I think that your generation has got challenges that generations such as mine and earlier generations never had to think of. The whole social media challenge that you face, we had no idea of. And it was tough for us, and it's certainly tough for you. So I'm not giving you a bye. You've got to figure all this out. You have to live in this world, and you have to make it the better world. All this is easier to do when you have a tribe. The members of your tribe, they are the ones that are going to be there for you when you have a tough day, when you get your butt kicked, and life is going to kick your butt. They're the ones that will celebrate your success, and they will help you drown your sorrows. Your tribe is really important. So if you're watching this, drop me a comment and tell me who your tribe is, or who do you want your tribe to be? Do you have a mentor? How does your mentor help you? What kind of activities does your mentor do? I would love to hear that from you. Dyslexic about half the time. So, drop me a line. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me what you want to hear me talk about. I want to be your crazy old uncle that you can go to and ask for help, ask questions that you can't ask your mom and dad. I want to give back to you so that you don't make some of the stupid mistakes that I made. Keep watching and subscribe, and we'll work together to make your life better.